Shane Jurgensen joins us, bowling coach for New Zealand cricket, about to become the Wellington cricket coach. Shane, thank you so much for the interview as always, mate, and congratulations on your new job. And I'd also like to say, thanks as a Black Caps fan for everything that you've done for us over the 10 years, the 2 stints that you've been New Zealand bowling coach.
Oh, Martin, thank you. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, it's been an amazing ride. I mean, it's not goodbye. I'll still be around and so excited to remain part of the New Zealand cricket system, a system that I've been a part of since I first met John Wright in April 2008 in Brisbane when he was looking at a base away from New Zealand for the guys to train on grass, and then met Trent Boult a few months later and thought he was a batter, and then not long after that, Tim Southey. I've seen those boys and so many of them too, meet these young men and they become men, and then they become husbands and they become, dads, and to see that happen over a period of time, it's been really cool to be part of, 10 years of my life and, a quarter of my life part of this team, and to be part of New Zealand cricket history as a bowling coach for a tenth of the, time that they've been involved in Test cricket, in the nearly 100 years of being involved in Test cricket, is to have that opportunity is just huge for me and my family. It's great.
I love the fact that you've mentioned, these players and just the human side of it and what you see, and also, the fact you are with them over a period of time as everyone changes and grows and gets older and all of that kind of stuff. Because, you can't do your job and be around, a bunch of young men who are striving like they are to overachieve and things without actually having some personal involvement there. I know that as a coach, you've got to step back at times, but hell, we're all human, aren't we?
Yeah, it's certainly been my motto as a coach, is to get to know them and how they click and what buttons to push, and obviously buttons where not to push, and where are the boundaries. And I think too, it's just around, once you get a feel for that, you can just break down the barriers of what you need, how to prepare for cricket games and how to prepare during a tour, and you also, you can be away for so long as a coach, and you miss home and you miss your own family, but they are too. So it's really important that our environment, the Black Caps, has just been so amazing, and it is a special cricket environment, and it's been hard to say goodbye to that, but there's a fantastic opportunity for me to create our environment and be involved with Wellington.
Look, so much success during the time that you've been with the team. Number 1 in the world in all 3 formats. That's a hell of an achievement. Winning the World Test Championship Final 2021, World Cup One Day Final 19, and the T20 World Cup as well, and making the semi-finals of that. But obviously, and you'll be asked this a million times, what stands out for you? Is there 1 or 2 things that you think, yes, those are the moments?
Yeah, I think I sort of look back, even my first time around with the Black Caps. I remember the run that we had during the ICC Champions Trophy in South Africa, and the way that we played there and made the final against Australia, and that was amazing. And some of the victories that a lot of people don't expect, when you're playing overseas at times, it has been amazing. But no doubt for me, the T20 World Cups have been amazing. The run that we've had in those, and making the final in Dubai in 21, and the semi-final last year, the way that we played, and no doubt for me, every time the test was on at Lord's, obviously last week, and it takes you straight back to 2019. It's hard to shake that one, but it's also a really fantastic game to be involved with. So the two standouts is that game, and no doubt the World Test Championship Final, which was an amazing achievement to win that from the guys, and that's no doubt the standout to see players, develop that core group of players that were in that, and then the boys that stepped up for that team in that time. And seeing, I've got some fantastic footage of inside the changing rooms. They hated me taking it, and it's on my iPad forever, but it's really cool to see those relationships they've all had with each other, and to see that celebration of Kane and Roscoe taking the team to victory.
Shane Jurgensen, Moving on to Coach Wellington now, my beloved Wellington, after being the bowling coach for the Black Caps for a number of years. You know, can I say this? I don't know how I can say this in any other clumsy way, but, you know, for an Australian who's so interested in cricket, you are so un-Australian cricket in the way that you approach and deal with things. I mean, look at what we've just witnessed over there at Lords and things. You know, how do you look at that from your perspective now? Are the Australians cheating or are the Poms just bleating?
Look, I don't really have an opinion, to be honest, in terms of what happened, but I think I definitely know probably the New Zealand team might have tackled it a different way.
Right.
But I think, you know, I think it's just the Ashes, and, you know, it certainly sets it up for an exciting last 3 tests and for that series. And then we certainly know as a team what it's like to play in England, and, you know, it's such an amazing place to play cricket. And I think, you know, for me, I remember when I came back to New Zealand cricket, it was at a conference in Christchurch, and Bob Carter stood up and started talking as like a high performance coaching, and he introduced me again and said, "I'd like to introduce the most un-Australian Australian you'll ever meet in Jurgo. He's back here coaching," and it's like I sort of really like it, because I think you know, for the last 15 years, and actually probably a bit more than 15 years, I haven't lived in Australia much and been there much. Pop in and see my wife and children every now and then.
Yes.
And I'm off on another cricket tour.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've really enjoyed our time in New Zealand. My wife's originally from Blenheim, born there, and, you know, we're certainly, you know, enjoying life living in New Zealand.
You're from Redcliffe, mate. Does that make you a Dolphins fan now?
Oh, well, I love Wayne Bennett. You know, he's always a fantastic coach. You know, what an amazing career he's had. If I could get somewhere even remotely near him, or even, you know, coach as long as he has in cricket, you know, what a you know, an amazing coach in the game of rugby he's been. And, born in Redcliffe, yeah. So I certainly follow their progress, but I've always been a Broncos fan, and I've been impressed with the way they're playing this year. But what a fantastic start for the Dolphins. All
right, well, you don't start in the capital until the end of November. So before that, we've got T20 series coming up. Obviously, we've got the ODI World Cup in India in October and November as well. Preparing for that, how do you think that we are going to go? And you know, if we can leave Kane Williamson till the last minute, would we take him, and would we play him?
Oh, probably one of the best batters in a generation in the world. You know, there's no doubt if he's fit and healthy, I'm sure he would love to play. It'll be touch and go, I think. And I think, yeah, it's still a long way for him to go. I think, and obviously Michael Bracewell has had a huge impact on the team in all formats, and, you know, we've lost him as well now. But I think one of the strengths of the team of our team, and has been for a long time now, is guys step up into the roles and they relish that opportunity, and they just want to basically contribute to that role within the team. And we've seen it, you know, the way of world cricket at the moment, and the opportunities that guys have. And there's been opportunities, for example, in Pakistan, and the IPL was on, and the performances that we had over there were quite good. And again, there's another example of guys stepping up. So, you know, decisions to be made by Gary and Tom Latham, and the way they select the team. And obviously Kane has a huge impact there still, regardless of whether he's playing or not. So, you know, there's some decisions to be made, and players, you know, a fantastic opportunity for those to step up and, you know, have some good performances and give this preparation of the World Cup and the World Cup a real push.
Well, look, it's always a pleasure talking to you, mate. I've got to say, you know, we've chatted to each other probably a dozen times over 10 years or something like that. It's always fun, mate. I always look forward to it, and hopefully we'll keep the relationship going when you're Wellington coach as well. I appreciate your time enormously, dude.
Martin, thanks very much. Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me again. It's always nice talking to you, mate. Really treasure it. Thank you.
Devlin.
Words matter.
I was going to put him to me. The platform.